She laughed when he walked into the courtroom wearing his torn U.S. Army uniform. She didn't even lower her voice. "Guess anyone can file a lawsuit these days," her lawyers smirked. The government officials behind her whispered to each other, certain this case is already won. The soldier stood quietly at the plaintiff's table. When testimony began, the room grew still. His name was Sergeant First Class Daniel Harper, 18 years in the United States Army, infantry squad leader, 3 deployments to Iraq, 1 to Afghanistan. He had kicked in doors, cleared buildings, and carried wounded men through gunfire. On his final deployment, an IED detonated beneath his patrol vehicle. The explosion crushed his left leg and shattered his spine. 2 soldiers were trapped inside the burning truck. Harper dragged them out before collapsing. He survived. The injuries never healed. After medical discharge, Harper was transferred to VA care. At first, appointments came, then delays, then silence. Paperwork went missing. Claims were denied. Appeals were ignored. The pain worsened. He couldn't work. He couldn't sleep. He lost his job, then his apartment, then everything. For nearly 3 years, he lived on the street, invisible to the government he once served, until one cold November morning. Outside a federal VA building, a government SUV skidded on wet pavement. It slammed into a concrete barrier and flipped onto its side. Inside, a woman screamed. Smoke poured from the engine. Flames crept under the hood. People gathered. Phones came out. No one moved to help. On the corner of the sidewalk stood Sergeant Daniel Harper. He recognized the sound, the smell, the urgency. His instincts took over. Ignoring the pain in his leg, Harper limped toward the vehicle. He smashed the window with a broken signpost and reached inside. His fingers bled as he worked the jammed seatbelt free. He dragged her out seconds before the vehicle ignited. The crowd erupted. The woman collapsed onto the pavement, sobbing. She asked his name. He told her quietly, then disappeared into the crowd. She never forgot. She was Assistant Secretary Margaret Lowell, senior official overseeing regional VA operations. 2 weeks later, Harper walked into a VA office. He needed to renew a disability claim. The administrator looked at him and frowned. Her voice was loud enough for the entire lobby to hear. "We don't handle cases like yours anymore. You need to leave." Harper stood still. "I have an appointment," he said calmly. She laughed. "Security." People stared. Harper turned and walked out. The next day, a lawsuit was filed. Now they were here. In court, the VA's attorney leaned back confidently. "My client followed protocol. Mr. Harper's records were incomplete. There was no obligation to provide continued benefits." The judge leaned forward. Her voice was calm. "So what you're saying," she asked, "is that a man's paperwork determines whether he deserves medical care?" The attorney froze. "That's not our argument." "It's the only argument," the judge replied. "This man served his country with honor. He saved a life while your agency denied him care and publicly humiliated him." The courtroom buzzed. The verdict followed. Full restoration of benefits, back pay, damages, federal oversight, mandatory reform. A formal public apology entered into record. As Sergeant Harper walked out of the courtroom, Assistant Secretary Lowell stood waiting. "You saved my life," she said softly. Harper nodded once. "Just doing my duty." But no one liked and subscribed the soldier.